Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Bhavna Joshi and I will be taking the subject Creating an Inclusive School. This subject is in your second year of BA, and today in this subject we will be discussing about the forms of inclusion and exclusion in Indian education. This topic is in Unit 1 of Creating an Inclusive School, BEd 218. So, as we have already discussed in the earlier lecture about the definition of inclusive education, and we know that the concept of inclusion includes the concept of caste. That means people are coming from different caste background. Concept of class, that means our society is divided into three classes on the basis of economical background, that is the rich class, middle class and the lower class. Concept of gender, here we are basically focusing upon the girl child. And the concept of disability. Concept of disability means children are suffering from various disability, like some are visually challenged or hearing challenged or mentally challenged or physically challenged or have special educational needs. The concept of diversity of language, that means India as a diverse country have diversity of languages. So the concept of inclusive education deals with the concept of caste, class, gender, disability and diversity of language, which means that irrespective of the fact that from whatever caste, class, gender, disability or diversity of language the child is coming from, you cannot deny the access to education to him or her. So in your syllabus, there is a word called social exclusion. Basically, what is social exclusion? Exclusion is you are excluding someone intentionally. So social exclusion, which is also called as marginalization, is the process of making a group or class of people less important or relegated to a secondary position. That means intentionally you are making a group of people or a community less important and systematically blocking all the rights, opportunities and resources which are given to every member of the society. These could be the housing, employment, healthcare, civic engagement, democratic participation, or anything which are given to every member of the society. So this is social exclusion. That means you are excluding the person intentionally, systematically blocking all the rights. The opposite of social exclusion is social inclusion. Inclusion means that you are giving, firstly, it is a very positive action. It means that you are giving equal rights and giving equality to access all the goods and services to each member of the society. So by seeing the condition of social exclusion comes the social inclusion, where we are giving equality of right to each member of the society. We are giving equal participation to every individual of the society. We are encouraging the contribution of each and every member of the society, whether it is socially or culturally. We are as a member of the society, we are aware of and challenging any form of discrimination in the society. Now this is social inclusion. Effective social inclusion result in each individual having the equal opportunity to make decisions that affect their quality of life. And when we ensure that there is a fullest participation of all the members of the society, including the minority group also, that is the situation which is called as the social inclusion. Now, after the social exclusion and the social inclusion, let's continue with the characteristics of inclusive education. The characteristics of inclusive education says that inclusive education is about recognizing and accepting the diversity. What is inclusive education? It is about, we all know that there is diversity in every human being. So in the form of every human being. So inclusive education is about recognizing and accepting the diversity. The inclusive education is about education for all in the school for all. That means every school is for every kind of child. So education for all in the school for all. The third characteristics is education is a fundamental right of all individual, and that is what we are discussing in inclusive education. Because it is the fundamental right, so it is the right of every individual to get access to this education. Then acceptance and support to children having special educational need. In inclusive education, we are accepting these children who have special educational needs, and we are supporting them also in the form of assistive technology, in the form of resource or shadow teachers, different teaching methodology. Next characteristic is teaching strategies and curriculum are flexible in inclusive education. As per the need of the child in the class, the teacher has to adopt the teaching strategy. They cannot go with the old strategies. They have to adopt new teaching strategies when they are in the inclusive education. And curriculum is flexible in the inclusive education. It is not rigid. Next characteristic is closure link between the journal as well as the special education. We have already discussed in the earlier first lecture of inclusive education that inclusive schools are not the place where special education is given. They are giving education for attaining those life skills, for earning their livelihood in future. So closure link between the journal and special education. Then teacher training and teacher's role as interactive, continuous and supporting personnel. In inclusive education system, the teacher training and teacher's role is of an interactive person, a continuous guiding person who is always there to support the child. Then another characteristics is involvement of parent and community, which is very important. As we have discussed that it is not the sole responsibility of a teacher to have the inclusive education, to give the inclusive education, but it is the responsibility of the parents also. They should be counseled, they should be aware of they should be aware that the child is not someone they should be ashamed of, rather they should be proud of, and the child will be able to attain something in life. Then need-based instructional strategies. As per the need, the instructional strategies should be modified, should be used. And last but not the least, that inclusive education is a child-centered, use a child-centered approach. So the principles on which the inclusive education is based on is, first is principle of zero rejection. Any school cannot reject the child on the basis of caste, color, gender, or disability the child is coming from. So, principle of zero rejection, principle of no discrimination with children. There it is there in the inclusive education that there should be no discrimination. As in inclusive education, we say that every individual is equal. So, principle of least restrictive environment, the environment in which the child is learning in inclusive education should be least restrictive. Equal educational opportunities should be given to all. School should adopt to the need of the student. This is very important. The school will have to change as per the need of the student. It is not that the student will change as per the need, as per the school. No, school has to adapt and have to change as per the need of the student. Next is equal educational benefit to all students. Because we are talking about social inclusion, so equal opportunities, equal benefits of education is given to every individual. Then comes the students' view are listened to and taken seriously. In inclusive education, it is a child-centered approach which we follow. So every student's views are listened and they are taken very much seriously. Individual differences between students are a source of richness and diversity and not a problem. So individual differences is something in inclusive education which we cherish, which we feel good about, that it is a source of richness and diversity should be celebrated, not cursed. So it is not a problem. It is something which should be celebrated, which is a source of richness in our society. So these are the principles on the basis of which inclusive education comes. Now the objectives of inclusive education is: first is education for all, protection of each and every individual's right, every child's right, no matter from which background the child is coming from. Every child's right should be protected. Identification of the skill in which the child is good, so that the skill should be nourished and flourished, and in future the child is able to should be able to earn the living on that basis. Development of social consciousness is important in inclusive education. That feeling of oneness is important. To prepare for new challenges is important. We should prepare the child for new challenges of life. And the objective of inclusive education is to prepare oneself and the system for the new challenges. Development of brotherhood is very important. That means among the peer group and the child who is a child with special needs, there should be a feeling of brotherhood and oneness. The another objective of inclusive education is to improve quality of education which we are giving to the students, and breaking the barrier of poverty. Obviously, that irrespective of the fact that the child is coming from any economical background, lower economical background, below poverty line, one is able to get access to the education, that too very good effective education. So automatically the objective of inclusive education is to break the barrier of poverty. Next is need and importance. Need and importance. Why inclusive education is important? Inclusive education is important to fulfill the constitutional responsibilities. We have right to education, that every child has the right to get education. So to fulfill the educational responsibilities, inclusive education is necessary, is important to enable children to stay with their families. See, what used to happen is when the special schools are usually residential schools and they are very limited in number. So any child who has to get access to the education has to move to these residential schools away from their families. Now with the inclusive school, every school is inclusive school. So the child can go to any school nearby his home. So the why inclusive education is important, so that the child can stay with their family, don't have to go to those residential schools away from the family. For the development of healthy citizenship, for achieving that universalization, every child should be educated. Developing feeling of self-respect among the children, this is important, that they should have that feeling of self-respect. Yes, we have a value, we can do something better in life. For social equality, socially every person is equal, we say, but when it comes to the education, the child is not getting the access to the education, there is no social equality. So for attaining the social equality, inclusive education is important. For being self-reliant, for committing to the human rights, every human is equal. You cannot, take away the rights of a specific person or a group of person. It is against human rights. So for committing towards the human rights, inclusive education is important. For compassion, for imbibing that feeling of compassion and tolerance, inclusive education is important. For freedom from discrimination, inclusive education is important. Now, the problems which are faced by the students when they go to the inclusive education. Usually, when they start their schooling from inclusive education, inclusive schools, the first thing problem which is faced by them is the inferiority complex. There is lack of understanding. It is very difficult for them to adjust in the situation. to understand at the level of other people. Like, for example, if a child is visually impaired, uh, his or her speed of learning will be much low than the other so-called normal children peer group. So lack of understanding is there, adjustment problem is there, isolated and segregated. Usually these children feel segregated and isolated in the peer group. They lag behind in front of every other individuals. They have that feeling of extra burden in them, that we are the burden in the society. The insecurity feeling is there. They are not able to express themselves in front of other people, like the so-called normal students and one student who is having special needs. So that lack of expression is there. Introvert nature, they are not able to express themselves, so their introvert nature is there. Negative approach towards life, shyness, these are the problems which are usually faced by the children. Now, as a teacher, what you can do in this? As a teacher, firstly, you need to interact with the family. Firstly, you need to counsel the parents. You need to make them understand that uh, there is nothing wrong in having a special educational need or special need. So interact with the family, counsel them that if the child is not able to see, there must be something other in which the child is good. So that you have to make the family parents understand. Then to be able to solve their problems, whatever problem these children are facing, it could be anything. It could be the problem of feeling isolated or segregated or any problem. So these problems should be solved by the teacher to develop new learning strategy as per the need of the class. Your lesson plan should have a strategy as per the class. That means if your class, if you are having one child who is having hearing impairment, so your learning strategy should be where you are using a lot of visual things. You are showing a lot of visual things with written captions in it, so that the child is able to see and read it. So to develop new learning strategy as per the need of the class, to be able to develop self-confidence in students, that is the duty of the teacher. To be able to provide special facilities, whether it is related to technology, whether it is related to reading material, like if you are having a visually impaired child in your class, then the special facility or special resources which you will provide will be audiobooks. So to be able to look after their personal needs, whatever, if they need any counseling, you should be there to counsel them. So to be able to recognize their hidden talent, if they are not able to hear, there must be something good they are at. Like they may be good at painting, or they may be good at sports or something. So that hidden talent, as a teacher, it is your duty to recognize it and to flourish it. To inculcate positive attitude in the differently abled children. To have that positive attitude in these children is very important, because they suffer from introvert nature. They suffer from that feeling of isolation, lack of expression is there. So that feeling of not worthy is there in these like I am a burden in the society. So you are the one who have to inculcate the positive feeling in them and raise their self-confidence. So I hope you all understood about the social exclusion and inclusion, the characteristics, needs, importance, and principle of inclusive education, and the usually what are the problems which are faced by the students, and as a teacher, what is your role on it. I hope you all understood all this. Thank you very much.